Today I want to present to inform you 4 important areas during the study ITM. The first one is the International of Things. So what is Internet of Things? It is a proposed development of Internet in which everyday objects have network connectivity allowing them to send or receive data. The example have so many because it's including everything from the daily life you can imagine. There are 3 relationships between to describe the International of Things. There are people to people, people thing, and thing to thing. Each relationship could including 100, even 1,000 different devices, which make the Internet of Things have a big diversity. However, the diversity will bring some issues. Security is one of them. HP tests 10 popular devices like to be included on the Internet of Things and found 70% of them contained security exposure. So it will make the Internet of Things become one of the most serious issues to the public. Let's talk about the advantage of it. For the individual, it can access people with their personal safeties. For example, if you are on your way to a meeting, you can't have access to your calendar and already know the best route to take to make you more safe and to make you save more time. Also, it can help people save money within their household. For example, people can use cleaning machines to clean the house instead of find a householder. For the business, it can operate in an energy efficient way, or it can use in many different categories like asset tracking and inventory control. The next topic I want to talk is the cloud computing. What is cloud computing? It is the delivery of service of computing a service rather than a product, whereby share resources, software, information, and provide a computer and other devices as a utility over a network. For example, is Facebook, Google Docs, and YouTube. We can find that these 3 examples very useful in our daily life, and we will use it commonly. There are 3 service models that we should know. The first one is the infrastructure as a service. It's a service on the infrastructure layer are used to access essential IT resources that are combined under the handling infrastructure as a service. The second one is a platform as a service. It comprises the environment for developing and provisioning clouding application. The principal user use this layer are developers thinking to develop a run and a cloud application for a particular platform. The last one is software as a service. It's a service providing complete application to a cloud end user. Also, there are 3 different types of cloud computing. The first one is private cloud. Private cloud is a cloud infrastructure operated solely for a single organization, whether managed internally or by a third party, and hosted either internally and externally. Public cloud is when services are rendered over a network that open for public use. Public cloud service may be free or offered on a pay-per-usage model. The third one is hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud is the combination of private cloud and the public cloud, which offering the benefits of multiple deployment models. The third one I want to mention is computer hardware. Computer hardware have a very simple explanation. It's just a physical component that make up a computer system. However, it can be divided into 2 parts, external and internal hardware. There's example for the internal and external hardware. Like keyboard, mouse, printer is external one, and in hard drive, motherboard is belong to the internal. Here is a picture can show you more clearly about how the difference between the internal and external. So the external one is the hardware that we can see during we use the computer, but the internal hardware only we can see if we open the computer case and the computer cover, and we will find it in the system unit. So when we know the computer hardware, we should also know the software. Software is the computer infrastructure or data, anything that can be stored electronically. If, for example, Windows system, Microsoft Office. When you purchase a program, you are buying software, but to buy a software, you need to buy a disk on which software is recorded. Both hardware and software are very important because it's required both to run the computer. So why it's also important for us to know the computer hardware? Because that we know how our computer works, so we would be aware of the things that we should do in the case it stopped working. This hardware of the computer is considered to be the most important because without it, it will simply not work. Also, we should know the hardware because it can help us to be familiar with basic computer troubleshooting. If you know how to handle the hardware of a computer and know each of their functions, then you will easily determine what problem in the case to stop the computer work. The third one is when you know the problem, if you have enough knowledge of hardware, you can know how to manipulate the computer safely. The last one I want to mention is open source. Open source refers something that can be modified because its design is publicly accessible. Same as open source software, if the software have source code is available for modification or enhancement by anyone. For example, the LibreOffice GNU Imagen manipulation program. There's a source opposite to the open source, is closed source. Closed source, the difference between the closed source and open source is that closed source have source code that cannot be modified by anyone but a person, team, or organization who create or maintain exclusive control over it. However, people are more preferred to use the open source because to the programmer it can get more control to the softwares. Computer program can access, view, and modify open source software whenever they like, and change the part of software they dislike. Also, because open source code is publicly accessible, students can learn to make a better software by studying what others have written. They can also share their work with others to make them become a better programmer. To the non-programmer, they also like the open source because it's more stable. By considering open source more secure and stable than the closed software is because anyone can view and modify open source software. Someone might spot and correct errors or omissions that a program original author might have missed. And because so many programs can work on a piece of open source software without asking for permission from original author, open source software is generally fixed, updated, and upgraded quickly. So here's the full topic I want to talk about today. Thank you for the listening.